Welcome once again to How to Relate to Anyone. Here is Dr. Orv Owens.
Well, hello again. We welcome you back to another session on how to relate to anyone, anywhere, anytime. The relationship psychology of all of this is simply the ability to be who you are and maximize that, the ability to relate to individuals based upon who they are, and in so doing, giving them acceptance and appreciation and approval. And they feel that when you meet them and when you relate to them, they can feel you have accepted them. I like looking for the uniqueness of everybody I meet, because no two people are exactly alike. So rather than comparing somebody to somebody else, I look for their uniqueness. And it's kind of amazing the variety of people there are in this world and what they bring to the mix. And what addition that is to your own life as you get to know people who are quite different from you, bring a total different view, different value system, different look. In today's world, I guess it's probably as great a variety of looks as there ever has been. You see everything from long hair to short hair to no hair at all. See clothes that are super dressy, and you see clothes that you're not sure where they found those things. And it's just, and it's what people are most comfortable in. I'm most comfortable dressed exactly as I am because this is what I've lived in all of my adult life. I have a couple of sons that very seldom ever wear a tie. Just don't need to. And they're in positions where they are marketing, they are in front of audiences and so on. But, and people accept them exactly as they are. But that's one of the good things about today is you can dress about any way you want to and people will accept it. A lot of flexibility in that. But what we will look at today, we've studied now the inward relationship, how you relate to yourself, and the upward relationship is this next one we want to look at. How you relate to those who have authority over you and are responsible for you. And that can be anything from a police officer who stops you on the street to a boss, or to a salesperson who's offering you opportunity to buy a home or insurance or stockbroker or whatever. All of those are upward relationships. It's people you count on to know what you don't know to lead you into a higher level of success in that area of your life, to achieve what you really can't achieve on your own without some help, to be able to learn that which you've never been exposed to before, and grow in that area of your knowledge and experience, to develop new skills. Everything that we do and everything we achieve in life comes from, in most cases, relating to somebody who knows how to do that, or knows that information and lead us into an understanding and a knowledge of that which they offer. The interesting thing about that is we need to be able to relate to them based upon their authority position or their knowledge, and open our mind to be subjected to that which they're teaching or presenting. So, how you relate to your management, and I have found in working with corporations of all sizes and government agencies and departments and the military, everybody has somebody they have to answer to. And if nothing else, the IRS. So we're all subject to somebody and some kind of authority. The ability to relate well to authority is the ability to learn, to grow, to develop abilities and turning natural abilities into capabilities, the ability to advance our own cause, whatever that cause is, to become a more well-rounded person by learning things that we were not aware of before. All of that comes from good working relationships with people who know what you don't know, have authority where you do not have authority, and have the ability to present it in a way that you can learn and develop and grow. It's key to building success in any area of your life, because you cannot know everything, but there is somebody who knows just about everything. By that, I don't mean a person knows everything, but they know what you don't know, and that's everything to you at the moment. And that's how we grow. And that comes from building good working relationships. Now, in a work situation where you're hired and you're on staff, you're paid to show up on time. You're paid to do certain tasks. You're paid to subordinate or submit to the leadership of that organization, that business, and so that everybody's working together towards common cause and productivity. What we don't need in the corporate world is loose cannons, people doing their own thing, unless it's a creative function and they're developing some new skills, new development, the way to go, some new possibilities. That's welcomed. But to say, well, everybody else is doing it this way, but I'm just going to go off and do it my own way, just doesn't work. An organization collapses when that happens. And I've worked with companies of all sizes over the years, and I find even in small companies, there's those who think they know better than the boss. They don't stay under that person's tutelage very long, because you cannot have loose cannons. You cannot have people doing their own thing without doing it within the framework of what we're trying to achieve. Now, creativity is vitally important in any business, and encouraging creativity on all levels of a business is what keeps you alive and keeps you moving and growing and becoming viable and more effective. But a loose cannon is somebody who just takes off and does something based upon what they think is right, without fitting in with the overall scope and direction the company's going. In the military, it's a matter of life and death. You can't just march to your own drummer. You've got to get in step with that drummer. And if not, the sergeant's going to let you know you're out of step. And all the way to the generals, you toe up. I've had quite a bit of opportunity to work with all of the military different forces, and in the field and in the seminar-based situation. It's interesting to watch how people in the military relate to authority and how they relate to subordinates, and of course, in many cases, it's a matter of life and death. So you have to be submissive. You have to fit in with, or else you're in real trouble. Can lose a life, can cause other people to lose their lives. Vitally important then that there's submission and subordination. But it's true also in the corporate world. I've worked with Fortune 500 companies over the years, and I don't care what size company we're working with, if people somewhere in the chain of command are not falling in line with the direction the company's going, it muddies the waters, causes a problem in the area of development and productivity, and the cost factor goes up considerably. I was working with a company out of northern Florida some years back. This was a plywood company. They make plywood and ship it all over the East Coast. And they had a real problem with employees. They had a huge turnover in personnel. It was a costly factor because they were constantly hiring and training, hiring and training, hiring and training. In 1 year, they had like a 78% turnover in personnel, total personnel. And that's super costly. They had several people just hiring and training. So we had opportunity to spend some hours with their management team, first line supervisors all the way to the general manager of the plant, and turned that company around. And they went from that high rate of turnover in personnel to down to under 20% turnover in personnel the next year, increased productivity by 60%. And it happened by managers managing well. The ability to lead people. And subordinates, or the employees, subordinating or following the leadership of those managers. But it started from the top down. And for the top down to have effect, we have to have subordination from the bottom up. You can have somebody who knows everything there is to know, but if the employees don't listen and don't apply what's being taught or being presented, everything's going to fall apart, and the cost factor is going to go way up and the productivity way down. And all of a sudden, people are being let go because they're not producing. And we're trying to run some new people in who are going, but now the new person coming in has to learn before they can even become productive. It's a costly thing. The ability to turn plywood out without the plant closing down. They had a lot of downtime because people weren't doing what they were supposed to do, and it caused pieces of equipment to fail. And as a result, the cost factor went way up in production. And the company was ready to close this business totally, shut it down, because it was a black hole. It was just costing too much money. Well, this is true in any business. I don't care if it's small business of 3 or 4, 5 people, or some of the companies like DuPont and Exxon and Xerox that I've worked with over the years. Those companies have to have people that are willing to subordinate, willing to work with, willing to do what the manager asks them to do. So if each salesperson does what they're taught to do, their sales volume should go up. Their closing ratio should increase. Because if the sales manager knows what it takes to close sales, what is working with our product or our service that we're marketing, and if a salesperson is not following the script, so to speak, following the plan, the business plan, the presentation plan, they're not going to get the productivity the company's looking for, and this causes then lost sales and lost sales opportunities, which in turn normally causes lost salespeople. Just can't have people out there doing their own thing. You got to have people that are speaking what the company wants them to speak, saying what they're supposed to say, and staying within a structure. So a sales manager's job then is to help people grow into a high level of productivity. You would think in a commission situation like real estate and life insurance and many other sales organizations that are commissioned, where the person's income is based upon how many sales they make, how many sales they close, you'd think they'd listen really closely to somebody who's been successful in sales. That would be the manager. The manager has been promoted to management because they have had a measure of success in sales in the field. And the ability then to submit to or subordinate to the plan that sales manager is directing you will determine how successful you'll be in closing sales and whether you'll be a part of this company 6 months from now. A matter of life and death. Life of, not life and death, but the death of a career, a death of a job. Cost factor is great if we can't subordinate. So helping people increase their sales volume, helping people increase their productivity on a production line or in any type of productivity within an organization is the job of management, and employees in turn are directed to follow the instruction of do it this way. This is the way we do it with this company. And in so doing, we build a sales organization that's highly productive. We build a production line group that is highly productive. The ability to relate to leadership and buy into what they're teaching is vitally important. It's the thing that's going to cause a team to build up that achieves goals, is higher in productivity as an organization, whether it's sales or management. This also works in family structure, works in friendships, works in social settings. I've done a lot of work with service clubs. And a service club, to be of service, has to have all the members participating in achieving the corporate goal of the service club, whatever that might be. If you have one person who's stirring up a fuss, talking behind backs and putting down the president of the club and so on, it destroys productivity and destroys unity and destroys the ability to achieve the goals of that organization. So even in a social setting, we have to have a chain of command. We have to have somebody who is leading. We have to have a decision maker. If you take any organization and take away leadership and just have everybody doing their own thing, you have a mess, basically. You have non-productivity. Goals are not being reached. The products or services are not being distributed. The creativity within an organization is not happening, and it's because of insubordination, where a person refuses to subordinate to leadership. Now, on the downside, I need to say, there are sometimes you work for somebody that you don't like, or you don't even think they're right. The interesting thing about that is, if you do exactly what they tell you to do and it's not right, guess who is responsible? The person who told you to do it that way. You did it exactly as you were told to do it. So there's value in subordinating, because in subordination you build a trust relationship with a manager. The manager trusts you, and you have job security, you have raises in pay, you have increase in benefits, all those things that happen over a period of time, building solid relationships. Success is based upon establishing strong working relationships with your power source, where power comes from. That's always an upward thing, and it's a choice you make every day. Every day, you're in big things and in small things, you're making decisions to subordinate, to do what the boss said to do, or do your own thing. Personal development really comes from being able to subordinate and learn from those who know, and develop skills in those areas of your life. And in so doing, you become a productive part of an organization, a productive part of a company, and a valued employee, and then all the benefits that come with that happen because you're able to fall in line with and become a part of the team and work together towards high level of productivity. I wish you great success in your working relationships with your employers, your boss, your foreman, whoever you answer directly to, and those in leadership. And as you relate well to them, you will develop the skill level needed to be a highly productive individual within the organization. We'll look forward to seeing you next program.